Welcome back to the news. On to another one of our headline-making stories tonight. 2 containers at the customs container yard, which were the subject of much controversy, were opened this morning. Prabhat Jaivikrama, who is the media spokesperson of the Excise Department, said the containers were brought down to resemble containers carrying turpentine. However, excise officials commenced investigations suspecting that the actual cargo of these containers was ethyl alcohol. Although excise officials and journalists travelled to the container yard in Totolanga yesterday to witness the opening of the containers, this venture was unsuccessful. Excise officials had seized the 2 containers on the night of the 13th of this month in Totolanga. However, they were taken over by the customs department, which claimed that these containers were en route from the harbour to the container yard. The customs media spokesperson noted yesterday that the containers had been seized by excise officials when the customs seal had been placed on them. He added that the owners of the containers must be present in order to open them, and since the owners had not turned up as of yesterday, the containers could not be opened. However, considering the situation that had arisen, the containers were opened today. The containers were opened under the supervision of the Director General of Customs and the Commissioner General of Excise.
We do
not need to protect anyone or throw anyone in prison. We want the law to be enforced. When the law is being enforced, if there are wrongdoers, they will be caught in the net. If journalists were inconvenienced yesterday, I am extremely disappointed. I believe that we will need your support in the future. Since this had given rise to a confrontational situation, we decided to join with the Commissioner General of Excise and use our powers to have these opened and collect samples.
සුරාබද කොමසාරි ජෙනරාල්තුමත් එකතු වෙලා අපි අපේ බලතල පාවිච්චි කරලා මේක විවෘත කරලා සැක සහිත නිසා අපි මේක විවෘත කරලා ඒ සාම්පල්ස් අරගෙන කටයුතු කරන්න පොඩි මේ misunderstanding එකක් කළා මේ
The Excise Department has been set up to prevent such illegal acts, to prevent this and to ensure that the country receives the revenue it is due from alcohol. That is why this raid was undertaken, but I believe there has been some misunderstanding with customs. Nevertheless, we are thankful to the Customs Department. No one was trying to hide anything here. The opening of these containers was delayed yesterday and today because of the customs procedure in inspecting these. But yesterday the Director General called me and said, let us open these tomorrow, and that is how we opened it today. We believe that this is ethyl alcohol, but we will send samples to the government analyst and work together with the Customs Department to punish the wrongdoers. Customs media spokesperson, Customs Director Leslie Gamni said the 2 containers were imported from Vietnam. He said the address affirms that these were to be delivered in Panadura. Furthermore, the media spokesperson noted that further investigations into the contents of the barrels in these containers would commence on Monday. We're going beyond television, radio and the World Wide Web. Interacting directly with rural villagers, News First launched its Gum at the program this evening to discuss the issues faced by residents of Sigiri Mulla in Sigiriya. The program brought area politicians and residents to one platform where the residents who have been severely affected by the human-elephant conflict were able to direct their questions to the relevant authorities. The program was streamed live on www.newsfirst.lk via the broadband technology from Sigiri Mulla. News First's Ramesh Irugal Bandara reports.
Welcome to the picturesque village of Sigiri Mulla in Sigiriya, where News First has launched yet another new initiative. What you see behind me is the News First Gum at the Forum, where we have gathered ordinary villagers from Sigiri Mulla and have given them an opportunity to express their problems, their issues to the public representatives and other government officials. Now people have flocked here in the hundreds to pose their problems to the public representatives as well as government officers whom they hold accountable. Now let us take a look at the proceedings of the News First Gum at the program.
බොහෝම දුරට මේ අපිට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ කැලේ අඩුයි කියලා ගැවැත්තෙන් කියනවා.
නියුටමතුමනි එතකොට තව පාර්ශවයකින් චෝදනාවක් එයි මේ කැලේට කිසියම් පිරිසක් හානි කරන්න උත්සාහ කරනවා.
For News First, I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara from Sigiri Mulla, Sigiriya.
Well, thank you very much, Ramesh. On to more local news. UNP MP Ravi Karunanayake says that fuel prices cannot be decreased through the annulment of the agreement with the Indian Oil Corporation. The MP made this statement at an event held in Galgamuwa today.
A UNP membership promotion program was held in the Galgamuwa town today.
සරණ ගුණවර්ධන වැඩසටහනක ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන අවස්ථාවේදී කිව්වා ඔව් අපි මේ ඉන්දියන් තෙල් සමාගමේ තියෙන ටැංකි ටික අවශ්‍ය කරන.
When questioned on a program, Sahana Gunawardena said that Minister Susil Premachanda has put forward a cabinet paper on annulling the agreement and taking over the tanks of the Indian Oil Corporation. He said that they are seeking legal advice from the Attorney General. We question as to what the result of this battle with India will be. We question as to what the real situation is. What is their intention? Are they trying to chase away foreign investors who are here? It wouldn't matter if the fuel prices could be reduced through this. We question as to whether they are trying to increase fuel prices through this.
Well, UNP activists say that working committee members who are protecting the current party leadership for their own personal needs will have to pay for this in the future. Former UNP organizer of the Baddegama electorate, Ananda Lanrol, says that the majority of the working committee comprises of those who have been defeated at elections.
Ranil Wickremesinghe appoints 90% of the working committee. These members are not working to bring about a UNP government. They are well aware that a UNP government cannot be established for even another 25 years under Ranil Wickremesinghe. This working committee is acting to meet their own personal needs. As an example, Joseph Michael Pereira is supporting Ranil Wickremesinghe in the working committee so as to secure the position of organizer for his son. Kamini Jayavikrama Pereira too renders his support so as to secure the position of organizer for his son. Two Tamil leaders have been appointed in the form of R. Yogarajan and D.M. Swaminathan. When there are plenty of Tamil leaders in the UNP who work tirelessly for the party, two puppets who were not elected by the people's vote have been appointed for the wants of Ranil Wickremesinghe. Gamini Athukorla's sister Thalatha Athukorla was the chairman of the Lakwanitha organization. Ranil Wickremesinghe replaced her with Shantini Kongahage, and then he put her in the working committee as well. When a person who is opposed to our party holds the position of ambassador, his wife Shantini Kongahage has been appointed as the chairperson of the Lakwanitha organization, replacing Thalatha Athukorla. Renuka Herath and her husband have been defeated at every provincial council election they contested for the past 15 years. Then there is a person by the name of Malik Samaravikrama. Malik Samaravikrama is in the working committee only to resolve matters when party members from the lower levels rise against Ranil Wickremesinghe. Sagala Ratnayaka has been appointed from Mathura to accompany Ranil Wickremesinghe on personal visits abroad. There will be no justice in the United National Party from these people. All of these people have been appointed to rescue Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Opposition and UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe addressed party members in Galgamuwa today.
If there are UNP members in your village who are not working, then send an SMS to this number 077-486-799 or send an email to kpdaratna@gmail.com. Do not call, send an SMS or send an email to kpdaratna@gmail.com. When your message is received, there is a team including the General Secretary who are not contestants who will call on these people, clarify matters with you and fix the shortcomings. They have to be in the villages and work. If not, let us know. We are prepared to advise them. We want to send the government, the regime home. We have to first send home those who are not working and then the regime home.
A program to promote the membership of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party took place in Hakmana today.
The program took place under the auspices of Minister of Investment Promotion Lakshmaniyappa Abewardena. The United National Party cannot raise its head for another 30 years because even their parliamentarians are barred from entering Sirikota. 28 MPs have been barred from entering. When you are engaged in politics, you must move with the people who are in the party headquarters and who are not. Now Ranil Wickremesinghe is saying to recruit new members to the UNP via text message. He wants you to send a text message to recruit new members. However, Mahinda Rajapaksa says to go to the people's houses and talk to the people and then recruit them. You can see a clear difference between the two. Today you are here as members of a political party with a practical leadership.
Welcome back to the news. Up next is a look at Action TV.
It is believed that this vandalism of the ancient lion paws of Sigiriya took place between 5 and 6 p.m. last evening. The time that the act of vandalism was carried out cannot be properly determined because the alleged eyewitnesses to the act has not lodged a proper complaint with the Central Cultural Fund, which is in charge of the administration of Sigiriya or the police.
Nevertheless, when the police made inquiries, 3 school students from a group which had been on an excursion to Sigiriya had confessed to vandalizing the lion's paws. Considering the identity of the letters in this child's scribble and the vicious interpretation that it could be subjected to by certain factions, it is commendable that, in this case, the police have acted with a sense of responsibility, putting the matter down to a child's mistake. However, if the teachers meant to be supervising these students on their Sigiriya excursion failed in their responsibility by allowing these children to scribble on the lion's paws, then it is a mistake on the teacher's part. Because regardless of their identity, it is the responsibility of these adults to supervise and control the playful ignorance of children. It is also possible that if, in addition to Sinhalese and English language notices, there were also notices displayed at Sigiriya in the language to which these letters belong, then the children would not have committed this act. However, the true shortcoming here is not the absence of a notice, but the failure of the Central Cultural Fund to attach an official for the security of the lion's paws, given the massive daily income that they get from the numerous local and foreign tourists that visit Sigiriya. It can be considered that this is because of the attitude that the Central Cultural Fund has towards the lion's paws, given the fact that not too long ago the fund attempted to construct toilets in close proximity to the lion's paws. Until the president himself intervened, the Central Cultural Fund did not see fit to scrap their toilet project. When such problems arise at Sigiriya, the Department of Archaeology, which is the trustee of this site, fully enjoys the freedom it has by passing the buck to the Central Cultural Fund, which administers the site. The extent of the Department of Archaeology's negligence becomes evident through this excavation activity which is going on in the Maliga Godalla area in Udugampola at present. The site at which this excavation is being undertaken to construct a jogging path on the initiative of the Western Provincial Council is actually a historic site, where a pond believed to have been constructed by King Sakalakala Vallabha, a local monarch during the Kota era, is located. Minister of National Heritage, this one is over to you.
In your developing story tonight, the Minister of Sports, Mahindananda Gamage, says that the elections for Sri Lanka cricket have been postponed to the 30th of April.
The Sri Lanka cricket's election to elect a new committee was to be held on the 30th. The minister said that the elections has been rescheduled to the 16th of April. The election was postponed following a request put forward by the cricket board. However, Pratibha Mahanameheva pointed out that the final decision does not lie on the hands of the Attorney General. He expressed this view commenting on the 3-member committee report appointed to inquire into the nomination of Tilanga Sumathipala being put forward to the Attorney General. When an Attorney General is asked for views or advice by a committee, the Attorney General is obliged to give their opinion or advice. That is why it is important to realize that in the end, the final decision lies in the hands of the institution and therefore they have the power to act accordingly. It is not as many think where the Attorney General gives a final decision. The main reason for this is because when an official acts according to the advice or opinion given by the Attorney General, that is when the problem occurs where a party has been faced with injustice or done wrong to, then that official has every right to take any action against the other official, requesting the court to take action through a writ petition.
Who will claim the top post in cricket? Type CRIC space A for Tilanga Sumathipala, CRIC space B for Upali Dharmadasa, CRIC space C for Sumit R. Pereira, CRIC space D for others, and send it to 7788.